In the summertime, Brendam Docks is at its busiest. More ships than usual arrive night and day to unload cargo, and so more trucks are needed. This summer, poor old Edward had to manage the yards alone. Any spare time that he did have was spent trying to organize the large amounts of trucks in the place. Unfortunately, he also had to spend loads of time organizing his own trains, so very little progress was made. Bill and Ben would try to help whenever they brought in their loads of china clay, but their constant bickering combined with their lack of experience left the yards in even more of a mess than when they came.
"You can't keep going on like this," murmured Boko as a weary Edward puffed into the siding next to him. "I think it's time we spoke to Sir Topham Hatt about getting another engine to help out around here."
All the other engines are far too busy with their own work, sighed Edward. I'll manage. Somehow.
Boko was unconvinced, but said no more as he oiled away.
Later that day, Boko brought some passengers to Elsbridge Station. He was still thinking of ways to help out Edward when his thoughts were interrupted by a friendly and familiar ding-a-ling-a-ling.
"You look worried, Boko," smiled Toby as he ground to a halt. "What's the matter?" Boko then told Toby all about Edward's struggles at the docks. "I know the feeling," sympathized Toby. "In my old harbour days, you rarely got a chance to rest your wheels. I miss it sometimes, though it's far from light work." "So it seems," uttered Boko. "I wouldn't worry about it," smiled Toby. "Old Edward's got one thing every harbour engine needs: experience. I'm sure those trucks will be sorted the next time you visit the docks." Boko remained unhopeful, and sure enough, when he arrived at the docks later, he was horrified. Trucks lay everywhere. They giggled and chattered noisily. Boko then ventured further to find Bill and Ben arguing like usual. "You let a truck tell you where to put it," gasped Ben. "You know they're untrustworthy." "Seemed more trustworthy than your instinct," retorted Bill. "You blocked an entire siding." "Enough, both of you!" scolded Boko. The twins jumped, not having noticed Boko arrive. "What on earth are you doing?" he demanded.
"We just wanted to help out Edward."
"By sitting around here bickering?"
"It's not our fault," retorted Bill. "We've never seen this many trucks before. Perhaps if Edward had passed on some of that experience of his, we—"
"Experience?
"That's it!" exclaimed Boko.
The twins looked at each other, and then smiled. Whatever Boko's plan was, it was good enough for them. That evening, Edward had finished his jobs and was rather keen to organize the docks. When Edward arrived, however, he was amazed. The trucks were all neatly arranged. Sidings were clear, ships were hooting their horns in delight, and the workmen were in much better spirits. "How?" he began, when a familiar sight came into view. "Evening, Edward," smiled Toby. "I don't suppose you mind a little help from an old harbour engine, do you?" "Certainly not," beamed Edward. "But how?" "Boko spoke with Topham Hatt about your problems here," explained Toby. "The others are handling my normal trains, while I look after Brendam Docks for a few days." "I must say, it's a relief seeing you," said Edward. "I've been run ragged these past few weeks trying to organize this place." "You leave this lot to me," Toby grinned, eyeing the trucks. "I'll see to it that this dockside is well maintained. Just you wait and see." Toby was as good as his word. Edward and Boko were able to keep the time and focus on their regular duties. Toby had their trains ready in good time and kept all the ships leaving the docks on schedule. He even found time to teach Bill and Ben a few tricks. At last, Brendam Docks grew quiet, and the workload became more manageable. A few nights later, all the engines came to see Toby off. "That lucky number 7 suits you," grinned Boko. "We're certainly lucky to have had your help here." "It's been my pleasure," smiled Toby. "It brought me back to the old days. Although," he chuckled, "it also reminded me I'm not as young as I once was. I'm certainly looking forward to a nice quiet run with Henrietta." "Well, goodbye then, Toby," smiled Edward. "You're welcome on the Brendam branch any time." And to a chorus of delighted whistles and horns, Toby set off for home.